What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of DevTalks. We talk about everything engineering and technology with your host, Travian, and we got another big episode coming this week. So, first things first, let's just dive straight into it. I just want to say thank you for all the support that's shown on all these videos and all the comments and everything. The comments and the likes, that's really what helps it, and I really appreciate it. So, keep doing that. Keep subscribing. I appreciate you all very much so. You don't know how much I do, but thank you, and we're gonna keep this rolling every week. So let's just dive into this episode. We got a lot to talk about. Mainly, it's not always all good stuff every single week. There's always some bad stuff going on in tech, and this week we're just gonna review it. So grab your snacks and everything. Let's just dive right in. So now, when I say bad things, what do you think I mean off of that? And I'm only asking because all year we've been seeing stuff about layoffs. That's probably the main thing that you would think about, right? This week we have a bad product. This is a product that how do I describe? People from the masses have been coming together to agree how bad it is. From the masses, I see it all over Twitter. And one of the biggest tech reviewers that I watch all the time, Marquise Brownlee, said himself, it's the worst product he's probably ever seen this year. I would take him out of context and stuff, but he did say it's one of the worst products. And it's this new wearable AI pin that's supposed to replace your phone. So let's just get into what this product actually is, because we never covered it on this channel yet, even though they did a review and things. I saw little stuff coming about it and things, but let's just see what this product is, and then we're going to go back and hear more stuff on how it's potentially bad versus good and why it even exists. So before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. It really helps out the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Let's just get into it.
Your AI pin needs to cool down for a few minutes.
Great. Look, I don't know about you, but I just spend way too much of my day looking at my phone, and I'm frankly kind of tired of it, which makes devices like this, the Humane AI pin, feel kind of tantalizing. At its very basic level, it's kind of a button that you press to talk to an AI, which, among other things, can summarize your messages and play music for you and tell you a bit more about the world without having to pull out a phone. Now let's just get a couple things clear out of the gate. This is a $700 device that you wear. It costs $24 a month for the line of service that lets you use cellular data on it. This thing does get its own separate phone number when you set it up. If you want to listen to music on it, you have to pay $10 additional for Tidal, unless you're a Tidal subscriber, and I don't know too many of those. These are not insignificant costs. So, should you pay smartphone prices for something that can't, and by their own admission, won't replace your phone? To see if AI gadgets like this are kind of worth living with right now, I strapped this thing on for well over a week. Here's what I've learned. There are a few ways you're meant to interact with the pin, but the way that feels the most natural and the way the company likes to talk about the most is just talking to it. Hey, can you tell me what's in the news today?
Fetching latest news.
It has come in really handy in ways that I haven't expected, and that's, I think, partially because of how natural it is to just talk to something. I asked it for the average price range of a specific kind of sweatshirt I like that were only made in Japan. It correctly pulled those prices off of eBay to give me an accurate range. I also asked it to summarize reviews of a smart Bluetooth connected pepper spray on Amazon, and it correctly flagged that sometimes people have Bluetooth connectivity issues. Even so, I feel like I fall prey to what I call the double check problem. Like, I know that this is using a bunch of sophisticated AI models to respond to me and to give me information. I can't resist the urge to just whip out my phone and make sure it's telling me the truth. And if I'm gonna do that, why wouldn't I just whip out my phone to look this stuff up in the first place? One of the coolest things about the pin is that it has a built-in laser projector, so you can catch up on your messages and see the time and change your text and tell it to stop, like I just did. Stop! One of the problems is It's just weird to kind of figure out how to use it, as you're meant to roll your hand around to access menus and you pinch to select, sort of like on a Vision Pro. It works, but it takes a lot of getting used to. I still don't feel like I have the tilting and rolling kind of gesture down great. It is a little messy, which is forgivable, I think, from a Generation 1 product. There's a camera built in. If you wanted to try, you can ask it to take a photo, or you could take 2 fingers, do a quick double tap, and you've got a selection of 3 photos that live on the pin. They'll eventually be uploaded to the cloud backend called Humane Center. Bear in mind, it is about as good as a camera on a smartphone from 10 years ago. It also takes a little bit of time to just figure out how to talk to this thing. Here's a good example. Last week, one of my favorite bands, this band called Lawrence, dropped a new single that I really like. And when I asked the pin to play it, it just sort of sat there and chewed on it and then told me about the song, including the platforms I could play it on, none of which are available on the pin. This is not a scientific measure by any stretch, but it feels like for every correct interaction I have with it, I have at least one corresponding F-up that I just kind of have to sit with and ponder for a second before I try again. For what it's worth, you can also connect a pair of Bluetooth headphones to this thing to listen to that music and to just hear it better out in the world, which is almost a must, because if you're around any appreciable number of people in the real world, this becomes really hard to hear, even at full volume.
Sending the message. Here's the most recent photo.
By the way, you basically cannot use this projector outside at all. If you're under broad daylight, it is non-usable. There are also just little things that I want a device like this to be able to do that it can't. It can apparently translate between 50 different languages, and the languages I've tried did seem to work, but you can't set a timer. It can't look at your calendar. So if you were counting on something to remind you that something was going to happen today, this isn't going to be it. In fairness to the Humane team, these are issues that they're generally aware of and they're actively working on fixing. Now, I don't want you to walk away thinking that I think this thing is dumb and bad. When it does work in the specific sets of conditions where it does tell me what I need and the projector works and the audio comes through loud and clear, it's actually kind of nice to be able to think about things and learn new things without having to whip out my phone. But the circumstances in which this thing feels useful right now are just so limited that basically anyone except the earliest of early adopters should really just sit and wait and see what the updates bring, because right now some people will have spent $700 on this thing and I don't really know what they'd use it for. Now
So I selected this video on purpose. There's a main reason why I selected this video, with full intention, mind you. The main reason is because it was the most positive, I'd have to say. It being the most positive. I've seen so many reviews and so many posts about how trash this product is. And I wanted it to be presented in a different light so that we can get real and honest opinions about it. Like, obviously he said a bunch of things in this video that is completely wrong with this product and what this product cannot serve. There's a lot in this video that he said that this Humane AI pin cannot do on its own thing. And of course, the Apple Vision Pro was not perfect when it came out. It was not. It just was not. And it's still not perfect. There's still a lot of things that need to be placed and implemented in it and for things to do. But right now, would I say, would you go out and buy this? I would recommend no. I would not recommend it. Duly because it has no real need, I feel. What the main thing is, you should be able to do all this stuff on your phone and it's not needed at all. Your phone got better camera. It's using a camera from 10 years ago, quote unquote. As he said, the camera quality is trash. $700? I'm paying $700. That quality is trash. You can just use your phone. Another thing, $700. It's you have to wear it. One, you can't use it outside. The quality isn't good enough. You can't use the hand thing outside, but it is useful outside. I've seen people do a video review with it and asking it what building is this, and it reports the correct building that it's looking at and things like that, and different advertisement stuff. I've seen it do good stuff. And mainly the one reason why his reasoning for taking out his phone is to fact check it. Of course people are going to fact check stuff when it first comes out. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not fact check something as soon as it comes out to make sure that the AI is giving you accurate information? Especially something that costs $700. Another thing, you have to wear it on your shoulder all the time. What happens if somebody takes it? People steal phones out of people's hands all the time. All the time. They do. And your phone doesn't even have to be out all the way. This is something that you need to visibly wear out on you. So it's being advertised 24/7 that you use it. How easy is it to steal or lose? I think it's very easy to steal and lose something that costs $700. I think it's very easy for that potential to happen. So then you're gonna it's almost being you would treat it like a pair of AirPods, but it just costs 5 times more. Literally, it will get lost like a bunch of AirPods. You see the little case? It even got the same size case as AirPod, I bet you. Maybe slightly a little bigger. People lose AirPods all the time. You tell me you're not gonna lose that? I don't lose AirPods like that, but people do it all the time. You have to think of it in a perspective. If the majority of people had this, what would happen? I see it getting lost. I see it getting stolen, and it's expensive for what it can do. It's very expensive. You don't need to pay that much for something like that. It's a first gen product. Yeah. Maybe hold on off of it until you do stuff. You can't integrate it with your phone properly. You can't add no calendar to it. He said you can't add no timers, alarms. Like, what's the point of doing all that? It's hard to navigate on your hand. You have to use it. Like, literally, you gotta do this to use it to properly and stuff. To see it on your hand or on the wall or something. To use half the features on it. Yeah, it's nice to talk to it. Hey, guess what? Most of y'all got a phone. Guess who's gonna be on there? Copilot. Google. Hey, Google is teaming up with Apple, so Siri is gonna be able to do this same stuff. Kid me not. Copilot already does this on the Samsung phones. It's already doing this to a level. Having AI on phones is already a major thing. It's already a major thing. Like, what else is in here? Like, yeah, $24 a month on top of your phone service to use it outside to connect it properly. An extra 10 if you want to listen to music. Yeah, it's nice to have headphones. There are nice things about this. I can see it potentially being useful, but overall, I do not see it being useful. And an overall standard, especially for how expensive and costly it can get. Like, how much do you really pay for your phone bill every month to have cellular network and stuff? Is this worth an additional payment that high? Your Netflix bill ain't even $24 a month, and you get more from it. Your Amazon Prime ain't that much. Mind you, they don't be doing all that. Maybe you got a bunch of shows and things like that, but still, like, how much you really like it? This adds up. This is something that adds up, and how useful it is just. I appreciate his video on this. I'm telling you, I kid you not. I appreciate the video. He handled this in one of the best ways I've seen any creator use this, and especially showing some of the stuff that comes out of using it and whatnot. But
able to do.
What is this? Like, what is this product? What is the product? Like you over here dancing, looking at your stuff like, is that right? Got hold it certain ways. Got it just seems weird. And of course, new technology is always going to seem weird, but I don't think they were ready. Like, yeah, they showed their demo before it released. Some people got it, but I literally don't think they were ready for this at all. They, I wouldn't say it was good to put out. If I was CEO, I'm like, yo, hold on to that. And then what was the R&D to make something like this? And how much money are you losing right now? And everybody was saying just based off of Marquise Brownlee stuff, it saying that it's like one of the worst products. It crippled a company in 40 seconds. He crippled a company in 40 seconds? No, because I wouldn't say it's entirely Marquise Brownlee that did it. I would say it's part of the company's fault. And the reason why I say it's part of the company's fault, because every day there's somebody that talks trash on a product that comes out. But companies don't get crumbled on it because everybody doesn't have the same opinion. He right here still likes it. The person that I just watched this video for, he likes this product. He actually does. A good amount. There are people out there that still like it. And for any product, there's going to be a bunch of people who love the products and some people who hate it. Some people hate iPhones. Some people hate Androids. Like, tomato. It wasn't just fully him. Like, yeah, he's a big tech YouTuber and they do have a lot of power and products and things like that. And I bet you a lot of people aren't getting it because he said it was trash. But this is also the other problem, because if everybody who watched this video thought that way, I'm telling you now, he should have said in his video, I'll leave it up to you to decide if this product is worth it or not, and give the reviews and things. Don't take my word as gospel. I'm not if I'm reviewing a product, I'm not all savior. I'm gonna tell you what's good about it. I'm gonna tell you what's bad about it. Hey, I don't like it. I don't know about you. You might like it. This person likes it that we just reviewed. He has some positive information and stuff about it. Mind you, I didn't watch all of Marquise's review. I didn't have time to go through and nitpick at everything. And plus, his review videos are too long to cover on the podcast when we have so many topics to cover. And it just takes too much time to go over one product in the review. I love his videos, I really do, but why take something as gospel? He should not be able to cripple a whole company like that. It should be, hey, make your own decision off of this. You might end up actually liking it. Yeah. There's people, same thing for video games, yo. There's people who like certain video games and they love them type of video games. There's certain video games that aren't for them people, aren't for that same group of people. There's some things that are for you, some things that are not for you. Yes, it's first gen. Give it a chance. What would it be like in second gen? How good will it be second gen? Look at the Vision Pro. I'm telling you right now, second gen Vision Pro, it's gonna be immaculate. I think it's gonna be great. I really think it's gonna be one of the best things that Apple created. Second gen Vision Pro. I kid you not. I really think it's going to be one of the best things that Apple created. I'm spending so much time talking on this one product here that I feel like I'm making my reviews way too long because of what I'm saying on it. But at the end of the day, that is what I believe. Yeah, I wouldn't buy the product myself. I give it to you. There's a lot of hiccups into it that just are not good with me.
Add this story.
Just not good with me. There's some hiccups that are not good with me. But you never know. Hey, if you have the money to just get something like that, get it. But I'm letting you know the risk. I'm letting you know what is there. I think he displayed the risk very good in this video. of what's good and what's bad, and a less hating tone for the product itself, which I feel is very good. Just keep your biases out of stuff until especially the very end. Don't put your biases in the beginning, because like at least let people make up their mind about something before you give your input on it, your full input on it being the worst. Like, mind you, I don't know where that timestamp was at in Marquise Brownlee's video, but I really think it was in the beginning. And by the time I upload this, I'm going to check. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna eat my words. Y'all got it. Take me out in the comments. I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin. But I appreciate his work and things like that. But I'm just saying it from my perspective on how I would go about this, and if I like this product and what risks actually come with it. But it's a cool concept. But I don't think it's going to replace a phone anytime soon. And then why does it cost $700? I think it's overpriced right now, and I think it just can't do enough. And it doesn't compete with anything. I really don't think it does. And not compete with anything in a bad way. I mean, in a bad way. It's not in a good way. Because if you want something like that, it has to be able to replace a phone entirely. Concept's cool to a degree. But yeah. But we're going to move on. Tesla. We have 3 different news sources we're going to look at today talking about this freaking layoff and what's going on at Tesla. Another thing I wanted to cover today was about the Model 2 coming out. And everybody is speculating about the Model 2 and Tesla and them building this new factory in India and blah, 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 is all the reason between this layoff. But we're going to go through, see what these different sources say about the layoff first. And between each source, we'll give our opinions on what we think about it. And then, hopefully next week, there's more information regarding the Model 2 itself that we can actually do a whole segment on it. Because I think the Model 2 is actually something that potentially is good. So let's just dive into this video and the rest of these videos. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for the algorithm. I really do appreciate it. And let's see what's going on with Tesla.
It has brewed since 5 a.m. when I got here. So let's talk about the evolution of that. 10% of the workforce, what does that translate to?
10% of the workforce translates to about 14,000 staff worldwide. I've just broken the story, Manus, with the stock down 1.4%, that there is another development. Drew Baglino, who was the senior vice president for powertrain and energy engineering, resigned in the last 24 hours. Drew Baglino has left Tesla, and this is separate from the layoffs. My understanding from a source is that he resigned of his own volition. The timing is interesting. Drew Baglino is not a household name, but he's incredibly important to the history of Tesla. He's one of just 4 stated or listed executive officers, or he was, and has been at the company for more than 17 years, reported directly to Elon. Responsible for everything energy related, the powertrain on the cars through to the energy storage product. That's a really interesting development. We've also reported in the last couple of minutes that Rohan Patel, who is basically the public policy chief at Tesla, has also left the company. Less clear if that was to do with the 10% layoffs or not. What Elon Musk said to the company last night in a memo that sources shared with me is that they had just grown too fast, and in many cases there were duplicate roles. This is a 10% cut. The last cut in 2022 was also 10%. And you and I, when I was in New York, if you remember, talked about the big miss on deliveries in the first quarter. You know, it's a company facing macro headwinds, but the stock down 1.3%. The layoffs part of that story was quite well telegraphed. The rumors started Friday night, but the Baglino piece, quite a big one.
The stock is down 31%. I mean, this is in some ways mutual decisions. We don't, mutual decisions, strategic decisions. Either way,
yeah.
It's quite an evolution of change in who's going to be running this business, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always been a question about succession with Elon Musk, or how things work. If you read the Walter Isaacson book, or actually Ashley Vance's book on Elon Musk, he was a micromanager. But in more recent times, the company's actually been in quite rude health from a sort of bench of talent perspective. One of the things that I understand from sources about Drew Baglino's decision to leave was actually he felt that the company was in a good place in the areas he was responsible for. 4680 is apparently going quite well. There is a deep bench of talent on the energy side of the business. And as Elon Musk talked about during earnings, the growth in the energy business is expected to outpace the car business this year. But it means that Drew Baglino is not next in line to be the CEO of Tesla if Elon Musk ever decided to step down. So now we can start having conversations about who that future person might be, if at all Elon Musk ever decides that he doesn't want to be the CEO of Tesla.
So that was just one video about this. And just to cut into something real quick, 10% is so large. It is literally so large. And we've been seeing Tesla on the downtrend forever. I have a video from months ago talking about the looming potential layoffs coming from Tesla. From months ago. See, there's a video on my channel about this potentially happening. And I feel like everybody saw it coming because of how poorly Tesla was performing. And another thing is 10% this year, 10% last year. What happened when he acquired Twitter? You are not safe working for Elon. You're not safe. He's going to cut you. If they can save money or whatever, he said, yeah, they grew too fast. Yeah, they did grow fast. Earlier this year, I did a video and on this podcast talking about, dang, Tesla grew so much quicker than his competitors in the Magnificent Seven. We compared their employee count with all the other Magnificent Sevens. From the time frames and everything, they scaled up one of the fastest companies ever to scale up that fast. And Twitter, he cut dead weight like nothing after acquiring that. This is going to keep happening. I think he's in a realization, has a viewpoint now of how many people they need to get stuff done, especially AI and all this other stuff. Who knows what roles he's cutting, but he knows it's going bad, downhill. And I think those executives are leaving because they're major shareholders, I believe. And if they leave right now is probably the best time they felt to, hey, let's leave this sinking ship with all the money we've made. We've helped them enough. And this is what we're going to do. This is literally what we're going to do. And just make our profits and be outs. Because we don't believe in this anymore. What are you going to do if you don't believe in anything anymore? Like, literally. There's nothing else to do. And 10% this year. Next year, probably be another 10%. All depending on how this car stuff did. And you heard him there. We also talked about, hey, is Tesla a car business or some other business, tech business? Hey, this year they're predicting cars are down. They down. Cybertruck release ain't saving them. Energy, they up. They're up on energy. And I can see how energy can help them, especially with them servicing all these different power stations and stuff like that and different EVs now. I can see how it can help. Can definitely see how that is impacting and helping. But we have a few more videos to cover for them.
Another big name to the long list of companies laying off employees. This time we're talking about Tesla.
Tesla's cutting more than 10,000 jobs. Let's bring in our business and tech reporter, Scott Budman, who's outside the Tesla factory in Fremont. Scott, what do you know?
Well, good evening, Jessica and Raj. Only over the last couple of months, Tesla has already seen fewer car deliveries than expected. They've seen a declining stock price, and they've brought in complaints about their upcoming Cybertruck. Just today, the company announced a 10% reduction in its workforce. A 10% cut in Tesla's workforce means about 14,000 employees. In a memo, CEO Elon Musk says the move is necessary to prepare the company for its next wave of growth. But some Tesla owners blame Musk and his tweets for driving customers away.
How toxic Elon has become to its core customer demographic, and to have a CEO who's openly expresses white supremacist views on a daily basis, it's really hard to sell anything in that environment.
Ross Gerber invests in and drives a Tesla, but he says he hears from frustrated would-be owners regularly, especially those waiting for the company's new Cybertruck.
Tesla's taken tons of money from people for Cybertrucks that they bought, that should be delivered, that are just not being delivered.
Meanwhile, layoffs across the tech industry are piling up, now topping 70,000 so far this year. Biotech giant Abbott Labs says it will cut 195 jobs and soon close its Fairfield location.
There's a new craze. It's the efficiency craze.
Joint venture Silicon Valley CEO Russell Hancock points out not everyone is cutting. Many are still hiring, but focusing both on AI and pleasing investors.
Now they're running really lean operations. They're finding that helps their bottom line. It helps their profitability. It certainly makes their investors happy.
But actually,
I didn't know. I don't follow Elon all the time on Twitter and see what he says. I know Elon does say some things on Twitter, but does he say white supremacist views? This is why we listen to different news sources. The last one talked about the VPs leaving. They didn't even mention the VPs here. And this is a newer video than the one from that we just witnessed, right? Yeah. This video a day newer. They didn't even say nothing about things. They didn't even give an accurate count on the people that left. The other video said 14,000. They said over 10,000. White supremacist views. I didn't even know. I don't know if that's true. I know he's all for freedom of speeches and things like that, but one of the things that you want to look at here, what they actually did good and differently is, hey, give some reasons to why their people aren't buying their cars. One, their Cybertrucks aren't getting delivered. Two, a lot of people who are their core demographic to buy their vehicles aren't agreeing with Elon, so that it's pushing away them buying. I don't know exactly that they didn't fact check any of this. They didn't bring up any of these Tesla drivers and stuff to speak. So, but this is exactly a prime exact reason why we look at different sources for stuff. Prime reason right here. And just because that we have one more source to go through, but those are the two things that they did do good with explaining. So we got one
Employees
more.
at Tesla were told the company will lay off over 10% of its workforce. This comes just a week before Tesla will announce its first quarter earnings, and profits have declined in the past year. Reports say the job cuts will be amounting to about 14,000 people. Fox's Carissa Lemkule spoke to some of the employees from the Tesla plant in Austin.
Cybertrucks line the side of the highway in southeast Austin amid new reports that Tesla is temporarily halting deliveries as a top Tesla exec announces his resignation on Twitter and the company announces mass layoffs.
Just out of the blue, they laid me off.
Until Monday, Bradley Olson worked on Model Ys at the Gigafactory.
At 2 a.m., which is middle of the day for me because I was overnight shift. Just look at my phone and my Microsoft Teams logged me out. I was like, oh, okay, I probably just need to reset my password. But then I tried and they said, and then it says my account was blocked. And I had like a straight up panic attack.
Some employees even showed up to work Monday morning.
I was literally standing outside trying to figure out why my badge isn't working. Why is it that I can't log in?
The employees Fox spoke to were sent an email notifying them around 3 Monday morning. It notes the need for cost reductions and increasing productivity, though, quote, this decision was not made lightly. Employees were told in the memo that their last working day was Sunday, the day prior. Also included in the email, a warn notice in case of, quote, any possible obligation under federal or state law. The WARN Act requires companies with a certain number of employees to provide notice 60 days in advance ahead of plant closures or mass layoffs. Official employment termination will occur as early as June 14th. And according to Tesla, employees will receive further information regarding severance packages and benefits continuation within 48 hours of the.
So this was another good video because it showed all those Cybertrucks there. So people were, this is just giving me more reasons to build off of each one of these sources. I didn't even look at these sources ahead of time, and they perfectly built up on each other. First one, what did we get? Execs leave, 14,000 people leave. Hey, whatever reasons and things, it's Tesla's not performing well. They haven't been performing well. Q1 reasoning. Second video, hey, their target audience, one, isn't buying their cars, and then two, they're not getting delivered what they paid for. Third video shows all the Cybertrucks lined outside and not getting delivered. Why is that? You have their money. Why ain't they cars delivered to them? Why ain't they trucks delivered to them? And this video did something else. It showed what kind of jobs were let go of. And this is the main reason why people were saying this, because of the India manufacturing for the Model 2. The cheaper version, the $35,000 car that he's been trying to work on, that's been super expensive to do anywhere else, is because manufacturing in America just costs too much. So how do you solve that problem? You fire the manufacturing employees and lay them off in America. That's how they solved it. Hey, businesses are tough. You really have to pay attention to what your job is doing. To know what is going on with your job, you need to be aware of what your company is doing. I mean, it's so serious. If you're an employee, you need to be aware of it. And then I don't know about getting on the news fully talking about your job and stuff like that. I don't know about that. I would always stay anonymous if that happened to me. But knock on wood, because pray that don't happen. I've had a scare before and things. So yeah, I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, they, like, each one of these sources gave us a different perspective on what was potentially going on. And I just find that so crazy because we didn't have that before or prior. All three of them put a piece together that was missing. And yeah, that's insane. If you lost your job, prayers to you, but you will get severance packages. Hopefully you can find another job in the meantime. I only know how hard it is for software engineers and stuff to get jobs right now, so I'm not really sure about manufacturing jobs and all of that. I can't really speak on it and how bad that would be in this current job market. But yeah, I would just say pay more attention about what's going on at your company. And I'm also very curious to why they're not delivering the Cybertrucks, because I figure a lot of people did buy them, and where are they at? I still have yet to see one in person. Mind you, I don't live in no major area where that is a possibility, but where they at, man? Where are they at? It sucks. It sucks what's going on in this world right now. So this video, I want to end this off on a high note, because this video started with a failed product and then a bunch of layoffs on a failing company right now. Right now, we have a company that I thought was failing, in my opinion, Intel. I saw that Intel did this keynote. I missed it live, but to be honest, I wasn't too crazily interested in what was going on. But I did see, I seen this, and I wanted to go over what you guys first time going through most of these products and stuff like that. But I have a feeling this should mirror NVIDIA in some kind of way. It should mirror. They should like coexist. It should be like one to one almost. Like you have an example what NVIDIA did already. Now it's your turn. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to go about it? These are all questions that I'm curious about and things, and we'll stop and review the stuff as it goes. But let's see what they did at their event. This is the keynote for it. It's going to go through all the stuff that they brought out, they talked about, and things along that line. So before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for the algorithm. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. More content coming soon. Trust and believe. I have you guys backs. But let's just see what Intel did. Maybe they'll surprise us. Hopefully they surprise us.
Oh my, good morning. Welcome to Vision 2024 and welcome to Arizona. You know, as I like to call it, the Silicon Desert. And if you think about this period of time that we're in, you know, maybe the most intense period of innovation that the technology industry has ever been part of, you know, and for somebody who's been in it for over 40 years, that's a pretty profound statement. 40 years, hard to say. I'm still young, I still feel good, yeah. And we'll spend the bulk of our time today on modular systems for the AI era, Intel products. AI is making everything exciting like we haven't seen. You know, in this period of time, you know, a fundamental drive of computing, the biggest change in technology since the internet. And it's going to reshape every aspect of our business and yours. And I simply call it every company becomes an AI company. You know, and Intel is rooted in how can we help? How can we understand your needs? And we believe, you know, you need technology infrastructure that's scalable and flexible, built on standard platforms that enables privacy and security, top-notch data quality and availability. That gives you choice, competition, you know, time to value, open ecosystems, and helps you to bring new talent to keep up with this incredible pace that you're in. And fundamentally, you need tangible business outcomes. That's why we're here. You know, we don't build technology for the fun of it. It's lifting our businesses to new heights through this power of AI. On a mission to bring AI everywhere. And in particular, I'm quite excited about the next platform, you know, where before competitors ship their first chips, you know, we're launching our second. You know, Lunar Lake, 3x the AI performance.
Their second? I didn't even know about the first. Talking about before competitors release their first chip, we about to release our second. One of the things that I noticed that all these companies, man, every company is AI at their keynote. You can look up every company right now. Keynote for 2024 that has already gone this year. I bet you they all talked about AI. Put 1 million subscribers on it. I bet you. I don't lie. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Every company that's involved with technology in some way or another all talked about AI and how they're using it. NVIDIA, all of them. Every single one. Every one I've watched. And I can't wait for Google and Apple's. They're trying to shove AI down our throat, no diddy. But man, this is insane. I didn't even know they released the first product, and they're talking about their second. Let's just hear what this is.
This little marvel has over 100 platform tops, 45 NPU tops alone. And before others get started, we're on to the second generation. The third generation's in fab, because we're going to drive the AI PC category to every fingertip of your users and your customers.
Before he goes past that, being the first does not always mean the best. So, and I'm going to explain it this way. Intel has been downtrending for a while now. If you asked anybody what's the best chip company right now, everybody would probably say NVIDIA. At this given moment, they would probably say NVIDIA is the best. Intel is talking about being first to all of that and always beating their competitors in time frame. But is it actually the best? Are you actually the best? And this is another thing. Just because you don't want to be last either. Apple was the last to this AI game, and look at them. They had a partner with Google for being the last. So being too quick and too slow is an issue in these companies. Obviously, we're looking at it right now. It's an issue. It has to be an issue. So what do you go from here? What do you do from here? What's the information that's given? And this is just the stuff that we have. So I just wanted to make that a clear note real quick before this continued any further, because just talking about how fast they're doing stuff, I don't know.
Next phone call, CIO, we need to start planning our upgrade cycle now, right? An upgrade cycle, 10,000 might take 12 to 15 months to drive an upgrade cycle. Windows 10 EOL is roughly 18 months out. My challenge to you, leave today, call your head of IT. Ask what your AI PC upgrade refresh policy is. And if it's not underway yet, tell them to give you a plan. And if you don't get a good answer, I'll call them for you. Intel's been delivering edge platforms for many decades, and I call it the three laws: the laws of economics, the laws of physics, and the laws of the land. Economics, it's simply too expensive to bring your data back to the cloud. It gives you better cost control. The laws of physics draw you to the edge. And hey, we're pretty profound technologists, but we ain't changing the speed of light. But maybe the third is the most powerful, the laws of the land. And we often need to keep data on-prem for privacy, regulatory, security reasons. Now, one of the things I've really become infatuated with as we've studied these AI use cases, it's all about unleashing your data. And how does your, this massive proprietary data sets, how can we turn it loose, for AI deployments? And RAG, retrieval augmented generation, is like so cool, right? It sort of is this perfect bridge, between cool new LLMs and the big data repositories that you have today. And RAG becomes, I think, one of the most important workflows, for corporations to take advantage of their data and generative AI, where I can take modern open source LLMs and, maybe if you're really good, you're updating and retraining those. What do you think? Maybe once a week, maybe once a month? How often are you updating the LLMs, right, that you have? But then you're combining it with real-time data coming through your vector databases, your streaming unstructured databases as well. And bringing both of those together in real time, we think is extraordinarily powerful. When RAG as a database encodes domain-specific, business-specific, data, and then packages that together for these complex queries into open standard LLM environments. Provides better real-time data. Combining this gives better business results. And with the rise of Gen AI in the workplace, how do you apply it to your business problems and challenges?
We actually have here, I've got two chatbots. They're both running Llama 2, the 70 billion parameter LLM on Gaudi 2, but that left one's just a stock one. The right one's got RAG added, running a Redis vector database on Xeon 6 with performance cores and MCR memory from Micron.
Okay.
So we'll maybe try a prompt or two and see what kind of response we get.
Show me something.
All right. So the first one I've already got here. We're going to ask something that's going to be something we're asking for very, up-to-date information, and we'll see, how these two LLMs work on this. So this is the stock.
You see how fast that shit was? Yo, they pressed start. It said, "Yep, done. Here's my sources." This one said,
And we'll see,
look,
how these two LLMs work on this. So this is the stock one.
didn't even give a source. This one gave a source file. This one didn't even give a source. Are they really running the same thing, yo? Like, I can understand the speed of getting something done. This one shows a lot more information, and they're about to do a comparison. I actually like stuff like this, like showing a comparison to see how your technology runs. I think this is important for what do you call them? These companies that manufacture the chips and the systems and stuff. It would have been nice for Nvidia to show this in live time, like how much faster stuff can get done by using these products. I feel like that is very important. So this is actually a very good demonstration that Intel did. I'm giving them their props. They did their thing when it came to comparing their two systems and what happens when you add something to their product to this actual thing. So they get that.
You can see we're asking for this information
I don't
from Intel
have
Vision.
specific information.
Yes.
Yeah, sort of
Yes.
sad.
It is a little sad. It is a little sad. It's not very helpful.
Yes, I have information.
I have
All
information
right.
here. Very, very current information. And that's what you want. I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
But what about performance?
Oh, performance. So we've got some good news there, too. Up to 2.35 better performance on this Xeon 6 and Redis solution.
Also, it asked a computer that has RAG on it. What about RAG, and one that doesn't? How are you gonna know? How it's not even installed on it? How would you know? It's not running off of it. So that's actually bad. I take that point back. There's good things about it, but there's also bad things about it because you don't even have RAG on. It's not using RAG. So how would you? RAG is such a weird name too. Such a weird name, but it's not using RAG. So how is it like? No, you're confusing, yo. Like, no.
And compared to the previous gen. So more users, more LLMs, the same platform.
And this is really, very broadening the exposure of your confidential information, building on what you already have, where your data already is, and enabling it in new and profound ways. But of course, this still is sort of complicated. And as we think about that, we've clearly seen that there's interest in how we can move these standards forward. We'll soon be launching an open platform, these reference designs and solutions that bringing us together will allow us to build the blueprints, have the reference design available, demonstrate performance, interoperability, trustworthiness, and ensure effective benchmarking and certification of these solutions as well, and providing open governance so that the entire ecosystem is moving forward, together. And Intel is stepping up to provide access to this, to deliver our blueprints into the marketplace, but also make it easy. And I like to think of Intel Developer Cloud as sort of the easy button. We're seeing this very rapid evolution of AI workloads. And even as accelerated computing has taken this primary role, Gaudi, our accelerator solution for that, we're going to cover that in a little bit. But let's start by looking a bit more closely at the Xeon portfolio. And I'm very happy to announce the next generation Xeon 6 processors, the new brand for our next generation of both efficient core and performant core solution, Xeon 6.
Are they actually
and with
that big?
The rapid rise in computing requirements.
Did y'all not see that over there? Is he gonna pick him up? He's gonna pick him up. I'm gonna just let him get to it first before I make a comment.
It's the immense data sets that we're working with. Workloads are driving trade-offs for performance, efficiency, and density. And in return, more demand for CPUs and cores that deliver better performance per watt. And I'm happy to share that the next generation, is enabling for the first time our Xeon 6 with E-core, uniquely addressing these challenges. And we're seeing this.
Y'all see that? It look like a frisbee. What does that go into? That's so big. No Diddy. That is a big processor. Are most processors that big? Like, here we go. I can't spell, as y'all can see. No. Was it called Xeon? Hold on. Let me was he showing something else? Where am I at? 817. Xeon 6.
Solution, Xeon 6. And with
I'm confused what that looks into. When I look this up, I'll show you guys. This is what I see. When I look up Xeon 6, I do not see that Frisbee thing. I see other things. Something's not right. I don't even know what that is, yo. I'm trying to learn. And, yo, if you guys know how that stuff works, let me know, because that's making me mad. It's not letting me learn. That's all I want to do. I just want to be more educated. Know what's going on. No way I can know with that. Ah, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Back to their keynote.
Distinct advantages, for cloud native, for volume container solutions, hyperscale workloads, and delivering up to 2.7x better rack density, 2.5x performance per watt improvements. The big brother of Sierra Forest is our Xeon Gen 6 processor, formerly known as Granite Rapids, with P-cores. And of course, right, we have one of those wafers here too. What a surprise, right? And here's our Granite Rapids Intel 3 wafer, right, which will be launching shortly after the Sierra Forest product. And we're quite excited to be ramping.
What are these wafers used for? Somebody let me know in a comment what the wafers are used for. I wish I was doing this live and I had a community so somebody could just let me know. But I wish I could understand what was going on right now with this.
Ramping this into the marketplace this year. And in our first two systems, we're going to write a haiku about Intel AI solutions. So, literally across 3 generations of Xeon, taking advantage of our latest innovations on Granite Rapids, Monument Creek memory, the highest performance DRAM memory, combining that with FP4 model, MXFP4 capabilities, brings us clearly in range where I can now run very hefty models right on the Xeon platform, from 4th gen Xeon with 16 bits up to today less than 100 milliseconds, 6.4x improvement from Gen 4 to Xeon 6 on a 70 billion parameter model, and again without major upgrades. Run it in your data centers. Now that's really good, but one of the other things that comes next to this is as we
it goes in data centers. Took that long to get the information out of him. Wish he told me what it was used for when he first started talking about it. Unless I missed it. Who knows?
Unleash the value of your data. What's the security model? What's the security profile? And this is why Intel's been working aggressively to build out confidential computing. Just this week, Google Cloud is announcing the public preview of its next-gen confidential VM services leveraging Intel TDX. So now it's sort of, how do I leverage my standard capabilities and bring modern AI models and algorithms in a trusted execution model? And Intel is also enabling that with the Intel Trust and Attestation services, so that you have independent attestations of the security models, of the model training that's going on. And this idea of being able to extend the trust domain and combine RAG with industry LLM capabilities, we see great momentum and customer adoption to this model in the industry. But enterprises are also looking for cost-effective, high-performance generative AI training and inferencing environments as well.
I didn't know Intel did all this stuff. Like, look how many different chips they've covered already. It's Xeon, Gaudi. They covered like 3 other things before then. They covered RAG. I don't recall. By the time this is over, this keynote's over, I don't recall NVIDIA covering this many amount of chip upgrades and things. And what are they all being used for exactly? Um, the NVIDIA keynote also seemed a little bit more exciting. This kind of seems a little bit dull. Doesn't really seem too imaginative or too entertaining to keep the viewers watching stuff. Like I probably some of you, if you're watching this, you're probably asleep already. Like I don't know. It's just not hitting the same way.
And with that, we see them turning to models like Gaudi. And Gaudi is the only benchmark alternative to the NVIDIA H100 for training LLMs. And Gaudi AI, we expect that we're just gaining momentum, and you're going to see today quite a number of customers coming on board as we see the acceleration of our Gaudi offerings in 24, 25, and beyond. Intel is revolutionizing, building on Ethernet networking for AI fabrics for the future. And we'll be introducing an array of AI-optimized Ethernet solutions. This lineup will include cutting-edge AI NIC cards that we'll be delivering, standard NIC solutions. It will also include AI chiplets that will enable for our customers and partners in Intel Foundry. It will also include soft and hard IP through Intel Foundry, and it's building on and leveraging the work that we've done, integrating it fully into our Gaudi solutions as well. A range of soft and hard reference designs for AI connectivity, because we don't need proprietary networking for our AI solutions for the future. What do you think? Is that a winner? We plan to deliver scalable reference designs, integrating hardware and software capabilities, but ensuring security, openness, confidentiality, and bringing your enterprise data to bear. And we're going to work very closely with our ecosystem of partners to make that available.
So before he goes to partners, I want to give him props again. NVIDIA, when I watched their keynote, I don't recall too many security stuff from them. I think I do recall something about it, but he mentioned 2 different secure things off of this. So props to them for keeping this whole AI stuff secure in its own way and things. But yeah, I'm glad I wasn't at this event. It's kind of tiring. Like it doesn't have no excitement in it. It's just the straight slides and things like that. And maybe that's why the company is not doing so great, because if you feel the tone of this keynote, you kind of feel the tone of the company itself. And things like, I'm literally sitting here, I probably look bored as ever. I probably do. Like, I just don't know, but I feel like it could be better. Like, I'm getting tired. Watching this.
Supermicro embarked on the Gaudi journey since the very beginning. We developed an optimized AI server for Gaudi 1. We continued with Gaudi 2, and today we are working hard to bring a Gaudi 3-based solution to market.
Rajshri, an Intel customer #1 for our Gen AI solutions. So tell us more.
So here's one way we are using generative AI in the fab. One of our goals is to keep our equipment up and running all the time. So when we have an incident on a fab equipment, we want to find out if similar incidents have occurred in the past so that we can understand the root cause and resolve them. And this is so that we can get the equipment back up quickly. Fortunately, we have a huge amount of structured and unstructured data, spanning decades and millions of records documenting our operations. We can reference this massive body of data to find a resolution to get the equipment back up. However, this process is time-consuming and can take hours and sometimes even days. We've started using LLM-based generative AI solutions to enhance our productivity. With just a few clicks, we can identify the root cause, resolution, and even at times bring equipment back online using an LLM-based Gen AI solution and our state-of-the-art factory automation software agent.
Let's bring on stage Dr. Ha, the head of research for Naver Cloud.
That's actually good. What she was going over, I've been seeing a lot from different companies using AI to look at past incidents and siphon through them so that you're able to get it right in front of you, figure out how to fix it quickly. It would be nice if there's a way to configure the AI to not only find the incident, but handle incidents themselves and how fast that's possible of happening. So just think about that. If you're a company out there and you're using AI, think about that. Or invite me to be on your board because I'll think of it for you. Appreciate it.
We decided to collaborate with Intel across 3 essential areas on Gaudi 2. This collaboration aims for the Naver to deliver the most powerful LLM on high performance and cost effective, thus contributing to the vision of AI everywhere beyond our efforts for AI sovereignty.
So with generative AI, enterprises are moving from pilot programs to production this year. And what they want are the use cases inside their core processes that drive productivity and help them accelerate everything they're doing. The market is demanding more choice for AI compute. And we're working closely with your team at Intel to bring Gaudi 3 to market. Now, and we are super excited to be adding the Gaudi 3 AI accelerators to our PowerEdge XE9680 lineup this year. What we need is more Gaudi 3 in volume. That would be great.
Well, Michael, I think the next shipment has arrived.
Oh wow, awesome. Cool. I'm gonna go fire this up on our lab. Good to see you, Pat.
I just have to keep just I was expecting to see what was in the briefcase. It started glowing blue and all this other crazy stuff, and I thought he was gonna turn it around. He just packed that John up and left. This can't be real. The original this event was 1 hour and 40 minutes. I want you to know I'm going through 15 minutes of the keynotes, and I feel like this. I feel like this in 15 minutes of the keynote. I'm getting cold based on how tired and down I'm getting. This blue color just doesn't work. I'm telling you, this blue color for Intel just doesn't. It's so like calm. Like it brings you down. It just, all this blue is just bringing me down and stuff like that. And just the content of the video is just not. And already going through all the stuff that we talked about today between Tesla layoffs and that product not being as great, it's just been down all day. All day. This episode is just, oh my gosh, it's tragic.
I'm excited to introduce the Intel Gaudi 3 AI accelerator for the first time. So you ready? Intel Gaudi 3.
Ooh. That looked like NVIDIA's chip. That looked like NVIDIA chip. It looked just like it. NVIDIA got the same thing. It's like, nah, don't look. If you see that in the comments, I know they both make the same products. Chill on me. Of course they gonna have something similar. Don't get on me tight like that. But look, they got the same thing. NVIDIA got the same thing.
Huge advancements in generative AI, building on the
even holding it just like Johnson.
Proven performance of Gaudi 2, delivering 4x the AI compute with BF16, 2x with FP8, 2x the networking bandwidth, 1.5x the memory bandwidth for massive scale out, significant leap in performance for AI training, popular LLMs, multi-model support, and Intel Gaudi 3 is architected from the ground up for efficient, large-scale AI computing, supporting both scale-up and scale-out configurations. Gaudi 3 is great on benchmarks versus the H100 on top Open Llama models. 50% faster on time to train, 50% better on inferencing, 40% better on inference power efficiency. A scalable solution with Gaudi 3 using industry standard Ethernet, like we talked about before, scaling performance from one socket to a 8 accelerator UBB, a single node, up to thousands of nodes and racks. One of the key questions that our AI customers are asking us is, okay, how do I deploy? And nearly all of the Gen AI developments today are moving to higher level environments, PyTorch frameworks, and other community models from Hugging Face. Industry is quickly moving away from proprietary CUDA models. Literally, a few lines of code, and you're able to be up and running with industry standard frameworks on power-performant, efficient Gaudi infrastructure. Now, let's talk a little bit more about availability and a bit nerdier together. Intel Gaudi 3 is available to OEMs starting this quarter of this year. 3 different industry standard form factors. The accelerator card that I was just showing off here to you. We're also adding to the Gaudi family a PCIe card. And finally, our universal baseboard. Man, look at this big boy. Yeah, I always bring Big Brother along with me. And, with it, that range of solutions, and here, up to 14.6 FP8 petaflops, greater than a terabyte of HBM3E, 192 native 200 gigabit Ethernet connections in this big boy. And with our first Gaudi PCIe card, extraordinary compute density, the same capabilities as the mezzanine card, giving our customers great flexibility, 1.8 petaflops of FP8 capabilities, 128 gigabytes of memory in 600-watt TDP, making it an easy adjunct to a Xeon deployment, being able to deliver industry standard infrastructure into your data center. And Gaudi 3 eliminates vendor lock-in with standard networking solutions in your data centers, in your cloud, and with open software environments. Best of all, you ready? Huge TCO advantages for your deployment. This is a winning solution. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gaudi 3 generation.
So let me bring this all together and show you a cool enterprise edge AI use case here that every single one of you here in the audience are going to relate to. Email. Okay. We get hundreds of emails, especially to put on a show like Vision. It's ridiculous. So how can I use artificial intelligence to get me through these things quicker?
Yeah,
so,
inbox 0, the holy grail.
The holy grail. I can never get to that. All right, so here we have Outlook, a very familiar email interface, and our friends at Iterate AI have developed this Gen Pilot service. And as soon as I click on it, I get a summary of what my customer wants, and not just that, a suggested response that's going to give me all the information specific to the product that the customer is asking about. I didn't have to go through spec sheets, databases, or any of that. All I need to do is hit compose right here, and I have a template ready to go. I can adjust maybe the pricing or whatever, but everything is right here ready to go in an email that everybody can relate to.
In just seconds. That's pretty impressive. Yeah? As I said at the start, every company is going to become an AI company. Together, we'll unleash the power of your data. We're going to accelerate your productivity. We're going to enable your workforce. We're going to vastly improve the ROI of your technology investments, all while making it more sustainable and secure. Intel, we were made for moments like this. Together with all of you, we're going to change the world again. Thank you.
Part of me is glad that's over. Part of me kind of liked it a little bit, just a little bit, but a bigger part of me now wants to compare everything that Intel went over right now, fact checked it, and compare it with NVIDIA. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to go work on that. Sorry, no, I'm not going to work on that right now. I'm too busy. I got stuff to do. But I do want to see a comparison between the two. It might be boring. I don't know if I'll make a video out of it, but just to be some more knowledgeable and stuff. If you guys want to see me do that, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can come up with and how long it may take to do something like that. But besides that, I just want to thank you guys all for coming to this week's episode. I really appreciate it greatly. You don't understand how much. Thank you so much for sticking through. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Appreciate you guys. Peace, and see you next week.